The grand auction hall of Station Zerath 9 buzzed with the chatter of 100 different species, their translators creating a cacophony of overlapping voices. Elijah stood near the back, his human frame dwarfed by the towering Krillians and the bulbous Septari merchants who dominated the front rows. He adjusted his worn jacket, feeling distinctly out of place among the wealthy traders and slavers who frequented these dark corners of the galaxy. The auctioneer, a six-armed Vexillian with gleaming purple skin, gestured dramatically toward the reinforced cage being wheeled onto the platform. Inside, something moved with predatory grace. And now, honored bidders, we present Lot 347, a Scarlath warrior, captured from the death worlds of the Omega sector. The auctioneer's voice boomed through the hall. Observe the magnificent specimen, the apex predator of its kind. The crowd leaned forward, their interest piqued. Then they saw what was inside. The creature was massive, easily 8 feet tall, with chitinous armor covering its body and overlapping black plates. Forearms ending in razor-sharp talons scraped against the energy bars of the cage. Its elongated head featured rows of crystalline teeth, and its 6 eyes glowed with an unsettling crimson light. But it was the scars that told the real story. Burns, cuts, and signs of torture that covered every visible inch of its body. The Scarlath threw itself against the cage with a sound like thunder. The energy field crackled, and several audience members in the front row stumbled backward in fear. Spirited, as you can see, the auctioneer continued nervously. Perfect for gladiatorial combat, or perhaps, it's feral, someone shouted from the crowd. Look at its eyes. That one's gone mad. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the hall. Elijah watched as the warrior's movements became more erratic, more desperate. It wasn't attacking, it was panicking. He'd seen that look before, in the eyes of soldiers who'd seen too much combat, experienced too much pain. We'll start the bidding at 50,000 credits, the auctioneer announced, his confidence wavering. Silence. 40,000? More silence. The crowd was already turning away, conversations resuming about other lots, more profitable investments. 30,000 credits for this magnificent warrior? Nothing. The auctioneer's faces flushed a deeper shade of purple. Behind him, station security began preparing to wheel the cage away, likely to the disposal units where unsellable merchandise met their end. Elijah felt something twist in his chest. He'd come to this station hunting for salvage contracts, not to buy slaves. The practice disgusted him, even if it was legal in this sector. But watching that warrior, broken, terrified, moments from execution, something in him couldn't walk away. His hand went up. 20,000 credits, Elijah called out, his voice cutting through the dismissive chatter. The hall went silent. Every alien head turned to stare at the human. The auctioneer blinked, all 6 of his eyes in confusion. I'm sorry, did you say 20,000 credits? Elijah repeated, stepping forward through the crowd. I'll take it. A Krillian merchant laughed, a sound like grinding stone. Human, that creature will kill you the moment the cage opens. Scarlath warriors are apex killers. That one's been driven insane by combat conditioning. Then I'll take that risk, Elijah said calmly. The auctioneer hesitated, clearly hoping for a better offer, but none came. Finally, with visible reluctance, he brought down his gavel. Sold to the human for 20,000 credits. May the void have mercy on your foolish soul. An hour later, Elijah stood in the cargo bay of his small ship, the Wandering Star, watching as station workers deposited the cage containing the Scarlath warrior. The creature had gone still, watching him with those burning red eyes. The workers fled the moment the cage touched down, leaving Elijah alone with his purchase. Okay, Elijah said softly, approaching slowly with his hands visible and empty. I know you can't understand me yet, but I'm going to explain anyway. I'm not interested in making you fight. I'm not going to hurt you. The warrior's eyes narrowed, tracking his every movement. Elijah pulled out a small device, a translation implant he'd modified from salvage tech. This is going to help us communicate, but first I need to let you out of there. He moved to the cage controls. Every instinct, every survival sense he possessed screamed at him to stop. This creature could tear him apart in seconds, but he'd looked into those eyes. Beneath the fear and rage, he'd seen something else. Something that recognized the bars of a prison and longed for sky. The energy field dissipated. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the Scarlath exploded from the cage, moving faster than something that size had any right to move. Elijah didn't run. He stood his ground, arms at his sides, meeting those blazing eyes. The warrior stopped inches from him, all four arms raised, talons gleaming. It could end him with a single strike. "I know," Elijah whispered. "I know what they did to you. I've seen that look before in my own species, in soldiers who've been broken and remade into weapons. You're free now. This ship is headed for the outer colonies, beyond the reach of the auction houses and the slavers. You can stay or leave when we get there. Your choice." The Scarlath tilted its head, confused. Slowly, Elijah held out the translation implant. "But if you want to talk about it," he said, "I'm here to listen." For a long moment, the warrior stared at the tiny device, then at the human who stood unafraid before a creature that had been bred for nothing but violence. Finally, slowly, one taloned hand reached out and took the implant. As Elijah helped activate it, he missed the slight relaxation in the warrior's posture, the first time in years that something resembling hope had flickered in those crimson eyes. The galaxy had taught the Scarlath that all beings were either prey or predators, masters or slaves. It had never considered a third option. It had never met a human before.